Hello, welcome to Unity of Chattanooga. My name is Audrey Ramsey and I've been a longtime member of Unity. And if you're joining us for the first time, either through our Facebook page or on our website, again, welcome to Unity of Chattanooga. We know you could have been anywhere and you chose to be here. So thanks for sharing your space and time with us. We got a good program set up for you today. The Reverend Christy Snow is back to share with us her dynamic lesson as well as her dynamic music. So when you are done at the end of this program, I hope you will come to realize that Unity of Chattanooga is the place where we practice positive, practical, and progressive spirituality. So welcome. And thank you, Christy Snow, for shedding your light on us.
Good morning, Unity of Chattanooga. Reverend Christy Snow here from Charlotte, holding you in my heart and seeing you in my mind's eye for the love and the light that you are. I see you for the light that you are. I see you for the love that you are. I see you for the light that you are. I see your light. I see your love. I see who you are. I see you for the light that you are. I see you for the love that you are. Oh, I see you for the light that you are. I see your light. I see your love. I see who you are. Now would be a good time to turn to someone, I guess virtually. We would still do that, right? We could still turn to someone virtually and say, I see you. I recognize the light of love that you are. I see you for the light that you are. I see you for the love that you are. Oh, I see you for the light that you are. I see your light. I see your love. I see who you are. I see your light. I see your love. I see who you are. Yes, 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 yes. And when we are tapped into that truth of who we are, it is easy for us to then move into and stay in gratitude. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. This healing, healing day. This healing, healing day. Thank you for my friends, Spirit. Thank you for my friends. Like Karen Drucker, who wrote this song. Thank you for my friends. Thank you for my friends. My wonderful, wonderful friends. My wonderful friends. What else do we want to claim in gratitude this morning? How about my radiant health? My radiant health. Let's claim that together. Thank you for my health, Spirit. Thank you for my health. Thank you for my health, Spirit. Thank you for my health. My wonderful, my radiant health. My radiant health. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. This healing day. This healing day. Let's do that one more time. I know you're singing with me. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. This healing day. This healing day. As we move into a time of an opening prayer, thank you.
Thank you, Reverend Christy Snow, for being with us again. Thank you for your music. I love it. I would like to express my gratitude for all the musicians. You make such a difference in our world. Bring that joy and that beat of life in, and it makes a difference. And your music carries a heartfelt message for us. Welcome to Unity of Chattanooga. I'm Reverend Faye Ann Schmidt. I am the Associate Minister here at Unity of Chattanooga. If this is the first time you have been with us, welcome. We're glad you're here. And if you are a regular visitor member, thank you for supporting us. Thank you for joining us and showing up each week. I would like to take a moment and read a comment that was posted on another Unity Church's Facebook page. And it states, here are some of the things that we believe in. Not living in fear. Taking life head on. Always being kind. We also believe that the body is amazing. And healing is our birthright. We believe that God is love, and we are meant to live life abundantly. So let's open with prayer. Thank you, God, for today. Thank you for our guest speakers and our musicians. And thank you for each other. What a joy it is to be here together. What a joy it is that we are able to have a spiritual message and a message that we can grow with. A message in our time of change that we can carry forward. Maybe what we're going through is painful, but we know on the other side it's good. We just have to walk the steps to get to the other side. And that's part of change sometimes. So thank you for the gift in every situation, in everything that we do. We are so grateful because it changes us. We have insight that we did not have before. We have strength and courage that we did not have before, and we can see a path forward. And we thank you for guiding us, for being with us every moment and being in us every moment. For this we are so grateful. And so it is. Amen. Before Christy's talk, which is titled, You Have to Change to Grow, I want to say that we bloom where we are planted, and it's just like a seed that requires a few extra caring things, the water, the sunshine. Well, that's like us. And life is forever pulling us forward. And we need to learn to go, like they say, with the flow with the process. And so Christy Snow, Reverend Christy, is going to give her talk here in a minute. But before she does, she's going to sing an original song she wrote. Change is Good. Now, Reverend Christy Snow.
getting comfortable in my new space. Planted flower beds and painted the ceilings, rearranged the place. Knocked down a wall, added on a room. Didn't think it'd be time to move on so soon. Thinking that there's always change. There's always change. There's always change. When change is good. I've heard it said that discontent is to be considered divine. And even if we haven't seen it that way, that there's always time. Search avenue after avenue, and every angle to find what it is we're supposed to see there in our mind's eye. And I'm thinking that there's always change. There's always change. There's always change. When change is good. Maybe this illusion of discontent is what keeps us forever pushing on. Grateful but seeking, never growing, complacent with life's song. There's always change. There's always change. There's always change. Oh, yeah. There's always change. There's always change. There's always change. When change is good. May not look like it, but it's always good. Like it or not now, there's always change. Change is good. It's good. Change is good. Yeah. Change is good. Change is good. Change is good. My first New Thought teacher, Reverend Dr. Lisa Stewart, had a bumper sticker on the front of the podium that the front of what we saw when we were looking at her right across the front. Said, "Change is good." And she would walk around going, "Change is good, honey. Change is good." You see, I came to that center when I was the anti-change. I wrote that song I just sang to convince myself that it was good. I didn't like change. And yet everything in my life was a mess and needed to be changed. And I went into that center and I said, okay, all this stuff you're talking about, being able to live a life that works and to be able to express fully, I want that. She was like, okay, we can treat for that. That's our word for affirmative prayer in Science of Mind. She said, we can do an affirmative prayer for that. And so we did. I started by asking her to pray for me to make the rent, right? And every single time she would start her treatment and she would say something about my worthiness. And I'm like, come on now, focus. I'm thinking to myself, focus. It was money. That's what we needed. Exactly $500. That's what I need. That's what I need you to pray for. And she'd come back to, okay. And she'd pray for my worthiness, my consciousness of worthiness to expand. And we kept working and she kept explaining to me, this is how the law works, that we get what we are. And that if I wanted my life to be different, that I had to embrace a consciousness that was different. Sounds simple, but it wasn't at the time. So I started little by little embracing a consciousness that was different, embracing the next rung up on the ladder, right? The next best feeling thought and belief and action. I kept reaching a little bit higher, expecting a little bit more out of life. I was working at it. And the next thing you know, this song was very autobiographical, because the next thing you know, everything fell apart. Relationship, house, job, everything started to be a question mark in my life. And I go running over to the center and I'm like, excuse me, hi. I've been doing that affirmative prayer thing you taught us, and this is not good. This is really not good. And she said, what do you mean? And I said, well, I lost my temporary job that I had. And she goes, was that the job that you wanted? Well, no, I wanted to be playing music full time. And she goes, uh-huh. And I'm like, yeah, but. So everything that I had lost were things that I said I didn't want. Things that I was treating to have a different consciousness of worthiness around, a different consciousness of worthiness that would allow me to embrace playing music full time, that would allow me to embrace being in a relationship that was loving and harmonious. So what happened? Lost the job, lost the relationship, because they didn't match where I was going with the new consciousness. So we have to be willing to change, to grow. And I know that sounds so simple, but it's not sometimes, is it? We have to be willing to release the life we've planned, to live the life that we're meant to live, as Joseph Campbell would say. Those plans will get you every time, right? We need to be able to release that archaic idea of where we think our life is supposed to go in order to allow it to unfold. See, this willingness to change is everything. I was just getting comfortable, as the song says, in my new place. And then the next thing you know, I wasn't sure if I was going to have that place or anything else that I had counted on. And that's when I learned about the term divine discontent. Divine discontent, that beautiful thing that allows us, that spawns us forward out of complacency. Divine discontent is where there's something pulling you, but you're not quite sure how to get there yet. You're in that in-between place. Ever been there, like during a pandemic, when you're in that in-between place about a lot of things in life and you're just wanting to get to the other side of it? Well, it's all part of the process. And it's about learning to be willing to trust that process, trusting the process of life, knowing that inherent in every desire and demand is the mechanics for its fulfillment, as the Upanishads taught us, the ancient Indian text. Inherent in every desire and demand is the mechanics for its fulfillment. In other words, we wouldn't even have an urge for the more if it wasn't a divine urge through us. And keep in mind, this is very important, because sometimes in that in-between place, we want to get frantic and rush to the next thing. Keep in mind that urge of spirit moving through us is never urgent. It's not urgent. The urging of spirit is never urgent. The urging of spirit is never urgent. Or as I like to say, urgency is never of spirit. So if you're trying to decide, is this spirit-led? Is this new decision, this thing I'm thinking about doing, is it spirit-led? Well, are you feeling urgent about it? Are you feeling like I have to do this or my good is going to pass me by? That's not the urging of spirit. Be still and know, and trust in that unfolding, allowing change to come naturally. Sometimes change comes through the waiting, through the waiting. I love spring, and I love how in just a week's time, you'll see bare branches bud up and start to pop open with blossoms. I love seeing, the first signs of it's almost time to plant gardens around here. But seeing when it is time, I love seeing the growth burst through the soil. And I was thinking about what we have in common when it comes to growth, what we have in common with the seed. Any seed, really. Any seed, it needs three things. It needs three things to grow. And that's the right temperature, moisture, and light. We need, on our spiritual journey, those three things. The right temperature, moisture, and light. But let me explain a little more about what I mean by the right temperature, moisture, and light. The right temperature, when you're growing something, a plant, a shrub, a tree, you look at the growing zone. And something that is hardy in Georgia may not grow in North Carolina, in the mountains of North Carolina, especially because it's colder there. So temperature really speaks to, for us on the spiritual journey, being in the right temperature to grow, to blossom, to bloom, it really speaks to being in the right environment. I remember going to an Al-Anon meeting years and years and years ago, and I was so disappointed because I'd had some really good news, and I'd gone to the people that I used to hang out with to tell them about my good news, and they just kind of poo-pooed it, They were just like, oh, well, that's never going to work, and that's never going to be a good thing. And so I came to this Al-Anon meeting, and I was sharing, that I was really excited that I'd turned a corner in my life and things were looking great, and I went to share it with these people, and this older lady in the room, she said, well, honey, you went to the hardware store looking for bread. So when we are trying to make sure that we are in the proper environment, the right temperature, the right growing zone, that environment that lends itself to our best bloom, we need to make sure we're not going to the hardware store looking for bread. We need to make sure, take a look around. Are you inspired by the people who surround you? Are you inspired by the people that you spend your time with? Do they lift you up, light your flame, see the truth, the love and the light of you, in you, as you? Do they see that? Do they encourage it? Do they fan your flame? That's what we need to look at when we're looking at our environment. The dirt, the soil that we are in, the soil. What soil have we plopped ourselves down in? Have we planted ourselves in? My sister-in-law is getting ready to move her family into a new home, and she was telling my wife Angie, she said, I'm taking that dirt. She was talking about the dirt that she had composted for years, had been working with this soil and taking the dirt from the chicken coop and the worms and the compost from cooking and all this stuff, and put it into this soil, and it was this rich, dense, just vibrant vegetables growing out of the soil, right? And she was like, I'm taking that dirt. I'm like, you pack your poop, girl. You do that. You go ahead. Because it's in that yucky stuff that this alchemical thing happens, and it turns into something magnificent. And the same is true for us. The same is true for us. We know we need to check our environment and see what kind of soil we're living in, but also be grateful for the soil that we're in. All the yucky, mucky stuff that we've been through to get us to now, we need to honor that. Honor that and see that it is fuel for our transformation, fuel for our bloom, and not lose our fuel trying to pretend it doesn't exist. Oh, that thing I did 10 years ago. Oh, that relationship I had, whatever. Looking at things that we think we could have done better and judging ourselves and having guilt or remorse or even anger and resentment toward another person. That's stealing our fuel instead of fueling the transformation that is always the ever evolving journey of us. We're always transforming, right? We're always ever evolving, growing beings. So in making sure that we have the right temperature, we need to look at that environment, that location, that soil, honor it, and make sure we're surrounding ourselves moving forward with that which we wish to experience. And then not being surprised when we change a thing and something out here changes. When we change in here, something out here is going to change, right? I was so shocked. I'm like, Why is everything changing? Because you said you wanted something different. Embrace that. That's the power of your co-creative nature. Embrace that. So the next thing that we need is that moisture. And what I mean by that moisture on our spiritual journey is the same as what the moisture does to the seed. The moisture, when the water gets to the seed, it softens the shell. And if it wasn't for that, the roots couldn't spring forth into the dirt below, and the shoot couldn't pop up above and start to go up through the dirt to become the tree or the shrub or the plant or whatever it's supposed to be. It's that softening that's so important for us on our spiritual journey, that softening. We get in such a habit of being crusty and hard sometimes. Just put our head down and get through this thing. Whatever it is, we're just going to get through it. But it's when we're soft and receptive to life, being open and receptive to the living spirit of truth moving through us, that's when we flourish. That's when we bloom. That's when we continually flow with life. I remember being on a vacation with my wife before we were married, and we got in a conversation about something, and you know how it goes. You're just moving along. You're thinking everything's good. Next thing you know, both parties are like, how did we get here? And you're not on the same page. And now let me say, this is the best relationship I've ever had in my life. I'm so grateful for it. We never fight or we don't have lumpy rugs. Nothing gets shoved under the rug, right? We work to solution with whatever comes up for us. So here we were on vacation. We're having a great time. Next thing you know, we're in this place, and we're like this. And I felt this old paradigm sneak up in me, this old pattern of behavior that didn't want to change. It wanted to be safe in that hard shell. It wanted to be safe in that hard shell, because me in years prior would have been like, well, and turn my back, which is what I did on that vacation in our beautiful little condo, in our beautiful little room, on our beautiful little vacation, in our beautiful little life. I turned ugly and I turned my back. And I huffed, and I pulled the covers a little bit. And she said, Christine Snow, we do not turn away in this family. We turn in. I instantly started to cry. We do not turn away in this family. We turn in. And we have always turned in. We continually turn in. But you can be single and take this advice. It's about turning in to life, turning in to the beloved presence that moves through us, turning in and softening to let the light and the nourishment and the water and the living spirit of truth into us so that it can flow out from us instead of being this hard, crusty little shell that the water just runs off of. So we have to be in the right location, check our environment, honor the soil that we've been through, and be open and receptive and soften to let life in. I feel like we all need like this huge softening retreat. The world needs a softening retreat right now after going through a year of a global pandemic, right? Now more than ever, we need to remember to soften. You're not putting your trust in the personalities of people, in this or that. You're putting your trust in God. Your trust that there is a universal power and presence that's moving through life, even now, always, and in all ways. And we continually soften and soften and soften so that we can be porous to that. And then the next thing, right? The next thing is the light. Of course, the plant's going to stretch and grow. I love the little plants on my windowsill in my kitchen, and I'll come in every day and I'll turn it just a little bit so the other side gets the sun, because they continually start to bend toward the sun, don't they? We need to be willing to bend toward the sun. Willing, that means being willing to change and to grow and to lean into spirit, to trust that we are governed, guided, and guarded, as Dr. Ernest Holmes would say, by that universal intelligence moving through life, governed, guided, and guarded, pulled forward Being willing to lean towards Spirit, willing to know that if you want a different life, you have to be a different way, but then not be surprised when things change. Being willing to grow, willing to be different, to have different. Get that. We have to be willing to be different, to have different. We get what we are in life, so we need to figure out what within us needs to change if we're not getting the result on the outside that we want in our health, in our finances, in our relationships, in our communities, in our connection to Source, any of those things, right? Not resisting, but moving with the flow of life. Not resisting, but moving and trusting. You got to change to grow, and we're always being called to grow. Relax. Soften. Lean toward the light. And so it is. And so we anchor that. Let's anchor that together in a meditation. Give me 1 second to turn on a little music, and we're going to just be with that acceptance of our good. So just breathe. I accept. I accept the good. I accept change. I am willing to grow, willing to soften, willing to let the nourishment in, willing to let the light in, willing to be that light. I know that my nature is change. I am an ever-evolving being, ever evolving, ever growing, ever upward and outward expression. And I allow it. Ever evolving. Always life is a movement toward my wholeness, a movement toward the recognition that I'm already whole, perfect, and complete. I accept. I accept. And so I invite you to open your mind and your heart in this moment. I accept. I am willing. I lean into life. I allow something new. I allow a new idea. I allow a new experience. I allow the best version of me right here, right now. And then I allow the next one and the next one. I allow life to be a flow. I allow. I trust, and I know that life is an ever-evolving motion. I'm one with it. I am one with this power and presence that created all life out of itself. And I am forever and always guided, governed, and guarded as I allow myself to change and to grow and to know that all is well.
Okay, this is our love offering. Thank you, Rev Christy, for your insights, your message, and your meditation. Thanks for joining us again. Now is the time in our service for our gratitude practice. For those of you who continue to support us with your financial gifts, thank you, thank you. Not only is your donation making a difference in the world, getting that unity message out, which we desperately need in the world, but you make a difference with your commitment to this ministry, and we thank you for that also. And for those of you who volunteer, thank you for that too. There are a lot of you who do, and we are grateful for that. And we know there are some folks who are financially challenged right now. You may not think that this week you can make that donation or give some financial support. However, you have to begin to pay it forward. And we've all had to do this. I had to. Find a way, something, somehow, so that you can step into that life, the flow of giving and receiving, that circle of giving and receiving. Join. So you'll make a difference in your own life, and you will be helping to get that unity message out. I want you to thoughtfully think about the gifts that you have and give. And let's join together in our offering song, Spirit Flow Through Me.
Spirit flow through me as I open up to be an expression of your unfolding peace. Spirit show through me as I open up to be an expression of your unfolding. Your unfolding peace, and Spirit show through me as I open up to be an expression of your unfolding love.
And now for our announcements. Sunday morning meditation is at 9:30. Next Sunday, Easter Sunday, we will not have the meditation. We will pick it up again the following Sunday, April the 11th, so join us then. Thursday, Mindful Musings at noon. And both of those are on Zoom, so thanks for joining us. Enjoy it. Our food drive with Jim and Barbara Murphy, it's a great way to serve. And we support 5 families, so we appreciate the effort and the gifts that you give to the food ministry. The AV team, learn that techie stuff, YouTube, Facebook, all those applications. Shannon is a great teacher. I know he's teaching me about this stuff, so he's great. Easy to learn from and easy to work with. We have 2 classes on Zoom. They're in the newsletter, and they're also posted on our website at unityofchattanooga.org. So go there and get more information. This first one I am going to be a part of. If You Only Knew is the title. Explore the deep mysteries of spirituality. Jim Rosemergy at gmail.com. 6 weeks class. Saturday, 1 Eastern Time. Begins April the 10th, 1 hour each Saturday. It's based on a love offering. And the second is Tuesday, April 13th, 7:30 to 9:30 Eastern Time. Metamania Workshop. Explore the metaphysicals with Reverend Christina Garza. And that information is also on the website. Now there's a fun thing going on. Good Friday Project, April the 2nd from noon into 3. There are going to be readings, music, and interpretations of Jesus' last 7 words. So that'll be posted on our website also. Next Easter, we're going to have fun. Next week, musician Landis Batts will be back with us, and he is so much fun. And our guest speaker, Reverend Doug Worth. His topic, the greatest gift. Now, Reverend Doug was a minister with Unity of Chattanooga for 10 years, and he had come a couple of months before I came through the doors. And he was so wonderful to welcome me and encourage me and help me grow. So thank you, and I enjoy listening to his talks. So next Sunday, join us. This is our prayer for protection. After our prayer for protection, Reverend Christy Snow will close out our service with a Ricky Byers song, Let It Be. Now, our prayer for protection. The light of God surrounds us. I am light. The love of God enfolds us. I am love. The power of God protects us. I am power. The presence of God watches over us. I am presence. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Enjoy the newness of nature, the blooming flowers and butterflies flitting around and the little honeybees finding the flowers. Enjoy nature this week. And join us next week for Reverend Doug. Thank you. And do something for someone else this week because you can.
What a wonderful, wonderful day. Thank you for allowing me to be part of it with you, and thank you for letting me teach you a new closing song last time. And so, since you know it now, sing along with me this Ricky Byers song, reminding us to just let the love that's always available to us wash over us. We let the love wash over us. We let it be. We let the joy. Why? just let it be. We let it be right here in the energy of knowing this is the truth, that there is love, there is power, there is joy and peace. It is ever available to us. It is ever moving through us. And so as I speak this word of gratitude for Unity of Chattanooga, for this life that we live, for this New Thought teaching, reminding us that we are beautiful points of light and love in the world, and we are ever and always being called forth to express our next version of ourselves. And so we just allow that to shine forth through us, that light of love and truth. And I say thank you, God, for this community, for this opportunity. We are so blessed. And so it is.